Good day, everyone. Welcome to Spotlight Mkhwanazi with Sean. The cold-blooded assassination of a key witness just days after he testified before the Madlanga Commission has shocked the nation. Marius van der Merwe, known during the proceedings only as Witness D, was gunned down in front of his family on Friday night. As police close in on a getaway vehicle and several suspects, fresh revelations about an apparent hit list have emerged, intensifying fears that van der Merwe was just the latest target in a deadly campaign to silence whistleblowers exposing corruption in our justice system. The nation is asking one chilling question: who ordered the hit on a man who dared to expose corruption inside our own police service? And how many others are next? Marius van der Merwe was one of the bravest voices to appear before the Madlanga Commission. A 45-year-old former Ekurhuleni Metro police officer turned private security operative turned whistleblower, he testified in November under the protected identity Witness D. What he told the commission was devastating. He described how, in 2022, a suspect was unlawfully killed during a joint EMPD SAPS operation. Van der Merwe said he was forced by senior officers, including the now-suspended Deputy Commissioner Julius Mkhwanazi, to help dispose of the body and cover up the murder.
Taking place. A short while after this, Chief Soup Julius Mkhwanazi, JD Mkhwanazi, arrived at the scene, and we were informed that this is the chief in a dark tracksuit of some sort.
At this time, apologies, witness. At this time, did you know who Chief Superintendent Julius Mkhwanazi was?
It was my first time seeing him that evening, and then it was obviously when Yaku indicated to us that this is Mkhwanazi, Chief Soup Mkhwanazi.
Did you know what unit or institution he's aligned to?
From the system, I understood that he was EMPD or Metro Police.
Thank you. You may continue.
So Yaku Hanekom and Biandre addressed him as chief, and the Metro members, including Yaku, Kershaw, Etienne was with me at that stage. So the Metro members, they all had a meeting with the soup away from myself and Etienne. Shortly afterwards, they returned to where we were. JD Mkhwanazi said that we needed to throw the suspect's body into a mine shaft or dump it into a dam. As he said this, he looked at me. Viandre then in turn informed me that I must take the body and dump it. They will show me where and that I should relax. Since my vehicle is marked, Viandre said it won't attract any attention. I was directed by Viandre at this stage where to park my bakkie next to the front door. That is as you come in from the main gate. I was escorted to my vehicle by two EMPD members and told where to park it. Yaku Hanekom essentially broke the gate to allow my vehicle entry into the property. I parked my vehicle at the designated spot and walked towards the main gate where I remained until they were finished.
Witness D, apologies. Before you continue, you say that when Chief Superintendent Mkhwanazi said that the body should be thrown into a mine shaft or dumped into a dam,
yes.
You make the point of stating that when he said that, he looked at you. What did you interpret that to mean?
Commissioners, it was quite clear at this stage that it was expected from me to dispose of the deceased body. And as I said, it's especially after the meeting took place between themselves. It was quite clear that they decided between themselves that I'm the one that's supposed to dispose of the body.
He went further, exposing how corrupt elements inside law enforcement were protecting heavily armed illegal mining gangs, the so-called Zama-Zamas, on the East and West Rand. Because of those earlier efforts to fight the syndicates, van der Merwe had already been forced to relocate his family after receiving death threats. Sources close to the case say that in the hours before his death, van der Merwe was preparing to return to the commission with even more names, this time state officials allegedly profiting from illegal mining. One insider described him as a dead man walking the moment he decided to keep talking. And now, emerging details paint an even grimmer picture. Van der Merwe was reportedly on an apparent hit list circulated among criminal networks linked to the illegal mining syndicates and rogue police elements he exposed. According to police sources and whistleblower advocates, this list, believed to have been shared via encrypted channels and informal networks, targeted at least a dozen individuals who had testified or were slated to testify before the Madlanga Commission. Van der Merwe's name topped it, alongside others like Ekurhulene's chief auditor Mkhwanazi, who was gunned down earlier this year while probing a massive tender scandal. The list's existence was first hinted at in van der Merwe's own warnings during his testimony, where he raised alarms about a calculated message from syndicates to intimidate witnesses. This revelation has sparked outrage, with civil society groups like Corruption Watch demanding an immediate national task force to dismantle these kill lists and the networks behind them. And then, on the evening of Friday, 5 December 2025, the threat became reality. In the quiet Brakpan suburb east of Johannesburg, van der Merwe pulled into his driveway with his family. Newly released CCTV footage shows him stepping out, engaging in a tense conversation with two men believed to be his assailants, before reaching for his own weapon in a desperate bid for self-defense. But it was too late. Gunmen opened. Multiple rounds tore into him in full view of his wife and children. Neighbors heard the screams and the automatic gunfire echoing through the night. Paramedics fought to save him, but Marius van der Merwe was declared dead on the scene. This wasn't his first brush with death. Sources confirm it was the third assassination attempt on his life in just 2 weeks, underscoring the relentless pursuit by those he threatened to expose. On the ground, the police investigation has moved with unusual speed. Believed to be the getaway vehicle was found abandoned in a nearby township shortly after the shooting, with forensics now scouring it for fingerprints, DNA, and traces linking back to the hit list networks. More significantly, detectives have already identified 3 persons of interest, with strong indications that they have ties to the illegal mining syndicates and EMPD insiders named in van der Merwe's testimony. One has been brought in for questioning, and police sources say the suspects may have direct links to the very networks van der Merwe exposed: rogue Metro police elements and individuals tied to illegal mining syndicates. National Commissioner General Fanny Masemola has personally taken oversight of the case, vowing that the killers and those who compiled the hit list will be brought to justice. In a joint operation with the Madlanga Commission, authorities have activated the National Joint Operational and Intelligence Structure to safeguard remaining witnesses, including those on the list. Yet questions remain. How was van der Merwe's real identity leaked so quickly after he testified under a protected pseudonym? Why was he not under 24-hour guard, especially after voicing fears of being next on the hit list? And perhaps most disturbing of all, if a witness can be executed in his own driveway just days after speaking truth to power, who else will have the courage to come forward? The widow of the slain whistleblower broke her silence this week, tearfully recounting the horror and pleading for justice, saying her husband had confided in her just days before. "They are coming for me. I've done what I needed to do." Civil society organizations are demanding an urgent overhaul of the Witness Protection Program, with the Democratic Alliance and EFF leading calls for a dedicated anti-hit list unit within SAPS. The Madlanga Commission itself has temporarily suspended hearings to review security protocols and trace the origins of the circulating lists. Justice Madlanga has promised that the work will continue, But tonight, many South Africans are wondering whether the system can ever truly protect those who risk everything to clean it up. Vander Merwe's death isn't isolated. It's part of a grim pattern of assassinated whistleblowers, from Babita Deokaran in 2021 to Mfo Mafole this year, all felled after shining a light on corruption. Marius Vander Merwe leaves behind a wife, children, and a nation in mourning, not just for a brave man, but for what his death, and the hit list that sealed his fate, says about the state of justice in this country. The hunt for his killers continues. This investigation is far from over, and we will keep bringing you every development as it happens.